Hello, this is Hoopy Guilo at Hoopy Geeks. How have you been this week? My first and oldest film in the collection. It was released in 1910 and it was apparently released on the 13th of June 1910. And this was directed by D.W. Griffith. And as you can see, it is included in Birth of a Nation Blu-ray. It's only 16 minutes short film. So this is just a short movie. I rated this 7 out of 10, which means I quite liked it, really. My mini review says surprisingly good silent short from D.W. Griffith set during the American Civil War. And that's all I have about it. I don't really remember it that much. So the next film is also from 1910. This is The House with Closed Shutters, also by D.W. Griffith and included on the same Blu-ray. And I gave this a 4 out of 10, which isn't very good, and it's so dull I haven't even bothered write a mini review for this one. The next film is The Fugitive from 1910. Again, not much to say about this one. It's just 17 minutes long. Next film is a 1911 movie, and we've gone ahead a year, called His Trust. His Trust, starring an actor called Wilfred Lucas. This was also directed by D.W. Griffith. There's a pattern emerging here, and is also included on Birth of a Nation. I also gave this a 4 out of 10. I've actually written that it's 1911 is a film called His Trust Fulfilled. And same cast. This one's 11 minutes long, and this was also on the Birth of a Nation Blu-ray. I've given this a 4 out of 10 as well. This is a follow-up to His Trust. This is my review, what I've written. The follow-up to His Trust was actually the second reel of one film. However, the studio wanted it as 2 separate films. Ends the story quite well, but again is nothing spectacular. And I find this for a lot of this era. This is why the 1910s, 1920s are going to be a bit samey, maybe a bit more boring than the later films. I think when sound comes in, it picks up. I won't say cinema gets great until maybe the 50s, 60s. Not that there aren't bad films before that. There are some very good films. We will come to those. But yeah, the silent movie, there's a lot of experimentation. The stories are very, very basic. I mean, they can't say much without the dialogue, so you get a lot of inserts on the screen to tell you what's being said. It's just one line. It's more like a moving comic book than anything else, especially for the drama type films. So this is another war film set during the American Civil War, which must have been an interest of D.W. Griffiths, because all these are from that era, but it's fitting that they've put them on the same Blu-ray. And yeah, they just get quite repetitive. Even the comedies, which are very spectacular, and I believe they lost the technique to how to film a lot of these movies. When sound came along, they just forgot how to edit the films the way they did in the silent era. And even those get a bit repetitive later on. The next film is Swords and Hearts, also 1911, released in August 1911, so that was Swords and Hearts. Not made much of an impact, so I don't really remember it. The next one is called The Battle. This also stars Charles West. It's another D.W. Griffith war film, short film, 17 minutes. So yeah, this one also on Birth of a Nation. I gave this one a 5 out of 10. I've put basic battle, which looks quite good. Nothing too deep. So we move away from D.W. Griffith now, and we're going to jump a few years. So I don't have any movies from 1912 and 1913, and that's the only consecutive break I have. After this, I have a movie, at least one short, one theatrical release from 1914 up to 2023. Yeah, so the first film is called Making a Living. This was Charlie Chaplin's first film, Making a Living. And it was 13 minutes long. It is included on the Chaplin at Keystone DVD collection. As far as I know, it doesn't have a Blu-ray collection as of yet. I gave this a 5 out of 10. I've put interesting for being Charlie Chaplin's first film. While enjoyable, it is repetitious and seems to end very abruptly. Worth seeing. So this is the first film I've put as being worth seeing. The next film, also from 1914, is Kid Auto Races at Venice. This one is only 7 minutes long, so I give it a 4 out of 10. This is Chaplin's first appearance as his tramp character. Pretty basic stuff. The tramp keeps getting in the way of a film being made. Repetitive and long, even at 7 minutes. I would probably recommend this regardless of my my damning review of it, just because it is the first outing of Chaplin's tramp character. I do remember this one quite well as well, which is another sign that it might be worth watching if you're interested in cinema history, and at least you're interested in Chaplin. So it's very much him messing around in front of the camera, which is kind of relevant to today with everybody on their phones, filming on their phones, people photobombing, and that's essentially what he's doing. He's photobombing this movie. And I remember it does draw back every so often, so you get like a second camera which films the director and cameraman getting quite annoyed with Chaplin and pulling him out of the way. So yeah, for giving it a poor review, but yeah, it was memorable. It stuck in my head, so that's okay. The next film is Mabel's Strange Predicament. I've given this a 4 out of 10 and not written a review for it. I only vaguely remember it. Most of these Chaplin films, they're very samey. I wouldn't, unless you're a Chaplin and silent movie fan, I generally wouldn't recommend you going out and buying the collection. His next film is A Thief Catcher, 1914. This is also Keystone, 6 minutes long. 6 minutes long, this one. I gave this a 4 out of 10. Oh, this was believed lost. This film has been found, but only part of the film is available. Not bad. Chaplin as a Keystone Cop. So he joined the Keystone Cops, who were very famous at the time. So that's why it's only 6 minutes long, because there's only a little bit of it left. The next one is Between Showers. This one is 14 minutes long. I haven't rated this one. I haven't given it a review. Next film is A Film Johnny. Okay, this is 11 minutes long and is directed by George Nichols. This one, again, no review, no rating out of 10. So I will move on. The next one is called Tango Tangles. Another Chaplin film, 1914. Again, no review for this one, no rating out of 10. So I think when I've watched these the first time, I've sort of whizzed through them, 10 minutes each, whizzed through them, not bothered to write about them, which is a bit annoying in this length video. Next film is His Favourite Pastime, 1914. Same Chaplin Keystone video DVD release, and no review, no rating out of 10. The next one is Cruel, Cruel Love. Also 1914. A lot of these 1914, directed by George Nichols, as was the previous film, and as is the next one. And 9 minutes long, no review, nothing written down. Yeah, no going through. This is just Chaplin in chronological order, really. And it's turned into the sort of film where you're just pulling out the DVDs and talking about them. But the next film is The Starboarder. Again, George Nichols directed. It is 12 minutes long. It's another no review, nothing, no special features. The next one is Mabel at the Wheel. This is 1914. This stars Mabel Normand and Charlie Chaplin. Mabel Normand directed along with Mac Sennett. Still very early for Chaplin. I believe when he was at Keystone, he felt a bit trapped. He didn't feel very creative. This is 23 minutes long. This is also on the Chaplin at Keystone. I've given this a 4 out of 10. I've written, it's okay, but is standard silent comedy. Some nice shots. The next film is 20 Minutes of Love, also 1914. There's a lot of films from 1914. This one is directed by Joseph Madden and Charles Chaplin. So this is Charlie Chaplin's first directorial film, his directorial debut. This is only 10 minutes long, still for Keystone. And I gave this a 3 out of 10. What a shame. Didn't write anything up about it. No special features for this one. Moving on, Caught in a Cabaret. 1914, Charlie Chaplin, directed by Mabel Normand again. This is 23 minutes long. I've given this a 3 out of 10. No written review for this. Next one is Caught in the Rain, another Charlie Chaplin film, directed by Charlie Chaplin by himself. So it's his first solo directorial film. 11 minutes long. I've given this one another 3 out of 10. Poor Chaplin is not getting off to a good start. Run-of-the-mill comedy. So there's nothing standout-ish about that one. The next one is A Busy Day, also Charlie Chaplin, directed by Max Sennett again. This is 6 minutes long, so this is a very short film. 4 out of 10. And I've written, Chaplin in drag makes this short a little more interesting than the usual Keystone comedies of this era. Pretty standard still. So he's not impressed me too much, but I guess seeing Charlie Chaplin, you want to see Charlie Chaplin dressed up in drag, then obviously this is the one for you. I don't remember what he was doing or anything. The next one is The Fatal Mallet. The Fatal Mallet, also by Max Sennett, 14 minutes long, so it's a bit longer, this one. No rating, no review, no special features to look at, just included on the DVD. The next one is The Knockout. This one is Charlie Chaplin, but also appears Roscoe Arbuckle, also known as Fatty Arbuckle, who were going to appear in his own silent comedies. I gave this film a 5 out of 10. I've written, this is a Fatty Arbuckle film with Chaplin only in a short role. Arbuckle is enjoyable to watch, especially in a fourth wall-breaking moment. I've also written that Chaplin is also quite funny as the referee, quite good. So I've given this a 5 out of 10, so I would reckon that the problem with this is the era it was made and it just been a little bit simplistic. But it's very interesting. Obviously, there's been a Fatty Arbuckle movie with Chaplin appearing in it. The next film is Mabel's Busy Day, starring, once again, Mabel Normand. So Mabel Normand, I would guess, is the star, and Chaplin is appearing in her film. This is actually directed by Max Sennett. Again, it's 12 minutes long, and I've given this another 5 out of 10. I've put Chaplin fights with a policeman and Mabel Normand. Not terrible. So he's having a fight. So there's a bit of physical comedy, obviously, in this one. The next film is Mabel's Married Life, another Mabel Normand film with Charlie Chaplin. And this is another Max Sennett directed film. So this is 14 minutes long. I've given this, this is a 6 out of 10. An enjoyable short that's actually funny. Nothing especially new here, but it's entertaining. And that's what you want from your movies, really. It just has to be entertaining. Laughing Gas, 1914, the next film, Laughing Gas. This was released in July, so the First World War hasn't yet started. This is directed by Charles Chaplin, 13 minutes long. I've given this 6 out of 10 as well, wow. So quite a good short. Interesting seeing the lady covering up her legs in this. Was this considered risque at the time? Question mark. The Property Man is next, 1914. So this is 24 minutes long. I've given this a 4 out of 10, not written a review for this one. This was released in August. The next film is The Face on the Barroom Floor. This is Charles Chaplin, 12 minutes long. I've given this a 3 out of 10, but not written a review, so it's not made an impact at all. So poor Chaplin is directing away and not making an impact yet. Next film is Recreation. This is 6 minutes long, still Keystone, and still on the same BFI Keystone release, 3 out of 10. No review. The next film is The Masquerader, still 1914. This is another Fatty Arbuckle, Roscoe Arbuckle film with Charlie Chaplin appearing in it. Directed by Charlie Chaplin, however, this time. So he's reused Arbuckle in his film. So maybe this was a Chaplin film and Fatty Arbuckle's in it, or maybe Chaplin was just assigned to direct it. This is 12 minutes long, and sadly I've not given it a review, but I've given it a 6 out of 10. So this is obviously made a good impact. So I obviously quite like Fatty Arbuckle because he's rated the highest in my all my films so far. The next film is His New Profession. I find a lot of these old films are all his something or her something, her night out, his adventure in This was directed by Charlie Chaplin. This was 11 minutes long, another Chaplin at Keystone release. 5 out of 10, so not great, not terrible. The next one is The Rounders. This is another Fatty Arbuckle film, and Charlie Chaplin obviously is in it. This is co-directed by Fatty Roscoe Arbuckle himself and Charles Chaplin. I've given this another 5 out of 10. Again, I've not written a review. I need to go over these again. So the next film is The New Janitor, directed by Charlie Chaplin, 12 minutes long. 6 out of 10. So this is quite good. This is the first 6 without Fatty Arbuckle in it. And this is my review says, Chaplin is a rubbish janitor who foils a bank robbery. Not bad at all. Don't remember it, but must have been quite good. The next film is Those Love Pangs. 1914 still, Charlie Chaplin film starring the amazingly named Chester Conklin. This is directed by Charles Chaplin, 12 minutes long, and I've given this a 5 out of 10. And the next film is Dough and Dynamite. Charlie Chaplin, another Chester Conklin film. This one is a 5 out of 10. The next one is Gentleman of Nerve, 1914. Charlie Chaplin directed and starred in this one, 15 minutes long. This is 3 out of 10. More of the same comedy from Keystone. Oh dear. So, nothing spectacular. Next film, his musical career. 1914. Charlie Chaplin directed and starred. 13 minutes. Keystone movie. 4 out of 10. No written review. So they're not making a big impact. Next film is His Trysting Places. 1914. Charlie Chaplin and Mabel Normand's in this one. Charles Chaplin directed this one, so he's obviously put Mabel Normand in this film. This is a 5 out of 10. No written review for this one. The next film is Tilly's Punctured Romance. This stars Charlie Chaplin, 1914. This is directed by Mack Sennett. This is 85 minutes long. I've given this a 5 out of 10. So this is where I've listed the special features for the DVD. And this one has Inside the Keystone Project, a stills gallery, and looking at filming locations. So I've given this, what have I given it? 5 out of 10. Okay. So my review here says, so it's good I do put a little bit of historical background to some of these films. This is cinema's first feature-length comedy. So that's quite interesting. So interesting from a cinematic point of view. So do I recommend this to cinema history fans? Yes, because this is cinema's first feature-length comedy. So the first comedy was released in 1914 on the 14th of November. And I've written that this is cinema's first feature-length comedy. Isn't terrible, but is overlong. A good cast. Some funny moments, but nothing especially new compared to the Keystone shorts. The next film, Getting Acquainted. This is another Charlie Chaplin and Mabel Normand film. This is directed by Charles Chaplin, 30 minutes. Again, still with Keystone, but this is 4 out of 10. So this is Chaplin's last Keystone film. It's called His Prehistoric Past. Again, starring Chaplin, Max Swain, and some names I don't know, but it does have Sid Chaplin, who I believe is Charlie Chaplin's brother. It was directed by Chaplin. It's 22 minutes long. Still at Keystone. It's the last film. 3 out of 10. So yeah, thank you. Let me know what you think. Please, please, please let me know what you think in your comments below. Do you like silent movies? Do you like the 1910s? Do you like 1914? Have you seen the films in my movie collection so far? But thank you very much for watching, and I will say Joygin, Josan, On, Jotao. Bye bye.